His Divine Grace Srila Vaishnava Bhaktivedanta Swami Jagadguru Srila Bhakti. His Gone Beauty Founder Acharya Jagadguru Srila Bhakti. Jai Om Vishwapada Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Acharya Ashtukta Shata Srila. His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Srila Bhakti. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. प्रेम से कहो कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड के गोवर्धन की ब्रज में वृंदावन धाम की नदीपा प्रधान की गंगा मई की यमुना मई की भक्ति देवी की तुलसी महारानी की समावेत भक्तवृंद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंद all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, glories to Sri Sri Guru and Sri Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 We are reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter number 2. And text number 11. If somebody does mistake, and to remind him that he is doing mistake, how would you tell that?
By being very humble. But it depends on the situation.
Baba calls spade a spade.
As a parent, I would chastise my kid to be a maharaj.
What's that?
Yes. Oh, so as a parent, I would chastise my kid if he made a mistake.
You have to be strict,
Yes.
but harmless. Strictness should be there. Otherwise, if you take it blindly, because they have kids, they can make mistake, then what we will learn. But as far as our material life is concerned, we have so many experiences and we are not learning. So, there is a chastisement, like it's called rebuking strong. Rebuking strongly. Now, even those who are soft-hearted, they want to sacrifice everything for the family. But if he is committing mistake, he should be rebuked because he is going out of his way to not do the function of an ideal household. Chastisement is necessary only to educate. Chastisement doesn't mean even corporal punishment. So in Sanskrit there is a sloka, Chanakya Pandit. Lalane bahuvo dosha, tarane bahuvo guna, tasmat putram cha shishyam cha tare natu lale. Taran means he should be, he should become aware that he has made a mistake and it should not be taken lightly. So taran is a kind of process which will remind him, keep him awake about his mistake and he will never do. Taran doesn't mean corporal punishment. Otherwise, if child is to be punished and corporal punishment, the pain of the punishment is so overwhelming that he will forget what he has done and he will never improve. It's become mudha. Intelligence has to be discriminated. So the one kind of punishment that awakens intelligence and then he starts thinking twice, he will not commit. Once this intelligence has come. But spiritually, even big persons, however materially successful they may be, but they commit mistake as far as understanding the reality, and they must be chastised too. It's not somebody brings in his position so he can be pardoned of chastisement. No. So this kind of chastisement Arjuna is getting. It's so benevolent, so much, and yet he is getting chastisement because he is on the wrong platform of reality. So Arjuna is despondent, he is completely discouraged by his own weakness. It is called weakness, and weakness has to be corrected by taran. Some chastisement is necessary. because it does not befit a person of knowledge, person of experience. So, when Arjuna was in dilemma by his own weakness because of attachment of the family members, he didn't want to fight. Krishna is telling he got a weakness of the heart because of attachment, and he could not discern what to do at this critical time, because two armies are opposing each other. So, this is also having the effect of the circumstances that Arjuna is going through at a critical juncture of the war to be begin, and he becomes completely weak-hearted. That is not befitting to a Kshatriya also. But by truth, he forgot. The truth is forgetting. We can forget truth if we are too much attached to the family members. So here, Krishna is telling Sri Bhagavan Vacha Asochananvasochastvam Pragyavadanscha bhashase Gatasuna Gatasunscha Nanusochanti Pandita Sri Bhagavan Vacha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Asochan, not worthy of lamentation. Anvasochaha, you are lamenting. Tvam, you. Pragyavadams, learned talks. Cha also. Bhasase, speaking. Gata, lost. Asun, life. Agata, not past. Asun, life. Cha, also. Na, never. Anusochanti, lament. Panditaha, the learned. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. The Lord at once took the position of the teacher and chastised the student, calling him indirectly a fool. The Lord says, you are talking like a learned man, but you do not know that one who is learned, who knows what body is and what soul is, does not lament for any stage of body, either in the living nor in the dead condition. As explained in the later chapters, it will be clear that knowledge means to know matter and spirit, and the controller of both. Arjuna argued that religious principles should be given more importance than politics or sociology, but he did not know that knowledge of the matter, soul and the supreme, is even more important than the religious formalities. And because he was lacking in that knowledge, he should not have posed himself as a very learned man. As he did not happen to be a very learned man, he was consequently lamenting for something which was unworthy for lamentation. The body is born and destined to be vanquished today or tomorrow. Therefore, body is not important as the soul. One who knows this actually is learned, and for him there is no cause for lamentation regardless of conditions of material body. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Gitapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagratatam Sahakana Raghunatham Tam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanasahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakamitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gauravataranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Asatyananda Sochastam Pragyavadam Shripasase Gatasuna Srimanu Sochanti Pandita. Arjuna, you are lamenting, which is not worthy of lament. And you are speaking learned words. It means there is controversy in you. A confused man who doesn't know the truth can babble anything. But Krishna is speaking absolute truth, which is without a guide, without confusion, puts us very affirmative statements which cannot be revoked. So, truth may be simple or complicated. It is very simple, but people make it complicated because they want to describe so many other things related to the absolute truth. No, the absolute truth is very simple because it's directly spoken by the absolute truth personality of God Himself. They're creating doubts about the personality. They do not know Krishna. So how is such a person will take easily the understanding? If he doesn't know the person, then it will be damn difficult. He thinks he's speaking like a man, so he must be one of us. However, wise statements would be. But now, so Krishna has to demonstrate his personality also. According to time, place, and circumstances, Krishna reveals everything, his personality. So his words and his person do not differ. Do not differ. So Krishna is acting as a well-wisher of Arjuna. And now Arjuna has surrendered. But surrendered because he's confused in his duties. And he accepted Krishna to clear all his doubts. So he surrendered. Now, friend has to surrender. That surrender is simply for clarifying this matter of duty. Otherwise, they were friends. But he was completely surrounded by opposing circumstances. He didn't want to fight yet. The fight is getting ready. He was a well-wisher, yet completely opposite reaction was there. That his brothers are not. Kauravas are his brothers. He doesn't see any distinction between the Pandavas and Kauravas. Neither they have ever spoken ill about it, but the Yodhan was completely having an envious mentality. So, Krishna's authority cannot be accepted by a challenging attitude of an envious person. And they will not be revealed. Anything, if you want to know about Krishna, it will be only revealed to those who submissive, devoted, by full understanding of his absoluteness. So, Arjuna accepts gradually, but it takes about 10 more chapters to reveal. So, meanwhile, he is clarifying his doubts because Krishna speaks very equivocally and such statements that he has never heard before. So, as an ordinary person, Arjuna plays the role that he doesn't know. He thinks his friend, like him, everything, his behavior was very friendly, but that was a friendship. But a friendship with absolute, he doesn't. Right? So therefore, not knowing Krishna, not knowing the absolute truth, we can make all devils. The crows also say cow, 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 cow on the Lord's park. The day and night this is going on, but they only aim at where is food, where is food. And man is also busy earning for family and maintenance of the food. Food is the first and foremost problem. What's the difference? There is no proper inquiry from the lower animals about the self. Only a human being has ability to inquire of his reality. And real means eternal. Unreal doesn't have endurance. It changes. It slips away. The whole material world called sansara is a slipping away phenomenon. It slips away from all of it. We can't hold it. Time and tide waits for none. So similarly, this material world is also a advancing towards destruction. Because it's Kali Yuga, but it's advancing towards destruction, not for construction. Construction is extremely difficult. Maintenance is also difficult. But destruction is not at all difficult. Kali Yuga. Very easy. So we see that when the things are contradicting each other, then confusion takes place. So in Arjuna's mind, this confusion was there. But Arjuna does not know Krishna's potency. He was thinking, just like friend and well-wisher, fine. So, can you help me? That's like that. And Krishna agreed to become his chariot driver. So he thought, oh, that's a friendly job anyway. So such so much normal behavior on the human level, he forgot the absoluteness of Lord Shri Krishna. He was thinking he is one of them, his friend. But that is the start of ignorance. Unless and until one is confused, one cannot have an inquiry into the removal of the confusion. If we are sure that we don't have confusion and we have tried it in this way, it's not like, okay, let it come and as it comes, we will deal with it. That is not intelligence. Intelligence is prepared. The destination is chalked out. The goal is already shown. One must know the goal of human life. Otherwise, in confusion, it will become a remedy with a sarcasm. Sarcastic words are there. Sochana, no sochasno. As if Krishna is laughing at him. You think, I don't know you? You are a fool. I am not a fool. Krishna says. And that is the reality is there. You talk like a pandit, but actually the pandit is one who does not lament for impermanent things. They lament only for permanent things if it is not understood or not achievable. Because it is a failure in the life. So, unless and until the strong words have not been spoken, Arjuna would not have given an attention to it. Otherwise, it would turn into friendly talk. And sarcasm is very much important in order to reveal the falsity of imperfect senses and its conclusions. Material nature is perceived by senses, but these senses are imperfect. Has anybody got a perfect sense? Out of 5? And the 6th is also called mind, sometimes. Has anybody perfected all the senses? Because the senses are imperfect, we are prone to commit mistakes. And moreover, material nature is fleeting. So you cannot hold it. And therefore, you are prone to become illusion, Maya. Maya covers us. So these three deficiencies are there. The fourth one is called lying, cheating. Because we have developed ego by ignorance. And just to make ourselves as an individual or individuality, we must exhibit the false ego. But there is also a true ego, where individuality becomes less important and unity becomes more important. Every individual has ego, right? The Mayavadis also say, Aham Brahmasmi, I'm Brahman. Ego means the most intrinsic position. But true ego is something else. It shows the functions. Aham Brahmasmi means I'm Brahman. But it can be mistaken. And after all, Brahmanohi Pratisthaham, Krishna says, I am the resting place for Brahman. Brahman stands on my existence. I am the source of Brahman. Therefore, I am called Parabrahman. So in this way, not knowing the reality, our false ego, we are dictating. Arjuna was very, very devoted to the family cause. He was well-wisher. He would like to lay his life for the benefit of the family. And the family members were ready to kill him. Two opposite natures. One may be said to be a little below level, but it is not the right form. So this anomaly has to be brought out, must be projected. And we should also project. Everybody is filled with false ego, but exhibit true ego. We should be able to listen to the words of absolute truth. So we may know that we may connect, we are able to connect with that absolute truth because we are not false. But ego may turn into false. So therefore, what is true ego? True ego is not aham brahmasmi. Daso ahamasmi is the true ego. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that. Naham vipro, na narpatim, napi vaishyo, na sudro, aham na varni, na grahapatim, vanasto gatirvan, kintu prodyan nikhila paramanandam puranamrupate, gopi bhartayu dasam das. Gopi bhartu is Krishna. I am servant of Krishna's servant. If you say, I am a devotee of Krishna, Krishna will not accept you as a devotee. But Anudat, if you say, I am a devotee of Krishna, then we have a rightful position. Krishna needs recommendation of devotion from his choice and bona fide representatives. Yeah. If you just want to go and meet Krishna and you have an ID card showing your ego and this position and that position, yeah, it happened to Brahma. There was a meeting of all the Brahmas. Krishna called in Dwarka. Okay, so our four-headed Brahma came and the gatekeeper stopped, said, "What's your identity? Huh? What's your ID? Where is the ID card?" Brahma said, "I don't have ID card." Still Krishna and Brahma. Huh? So Krishna said, "Which Brahma is?" So the gatekeeper came again and asked, "Prabhu, which Brahma are you?" So our Brahmaji said, "My God, I don't know which Brahma." So thinking he is great on his forehead. Then he said, "Tell him I'm a four-headed Brahma." Then the Chokidar went and said to Krishna, "He is a four-headed Brahma." "Oh, okay, tell him, come, he is the nearest." That's why he came first. But there are many coming. Okay. And so gradually, many Brahmas started coming to attend the meeting with Lord Shri Krishna. And our Brahma was watching. Some has 10 heads, some has 1,000 heads, some has so many heads. And everybody were bowing down before Lord Krishna with their you know, our Brahma got the identification. It's very small. Huh? And many Brahmas are there. So, this is called ID crisis or identification crisis. Wrong identification. And we cannot identify ourselves with our family. Our original family is Krishna. And when you leave that and you assume different IDs all the time, what is the fun? How many parents you have changed? Every time you take birth, there are different parents, right? So, that's the story of Chitraketu also. Chitraketu was a king. He didn't have a son. He had many queens, but none was bearing any child. So, but he was a pious king, so Angira Rishi and Narad Muni both were coming. He greeted them and seeing moroseness of the king, he said, "I have everything, but I have not got a son. So please do something that my desire can be fulfilled." So Angira Rishi saw and he thought, "There is a son in your life. Oh, please expedite." But this son will be cause of your joy as well as lamentation. Never mind lamentation, I can face it. I've been lamenting for a long time, but please let the son come. So they gave one fruit, said, "Give it to you, your queen." So he gave it to his favorite kid, and she was pregnant, and the son was born to her. The king was so much joyful, so much, he started giving charity and this and that, right? But other queens became jealous. They said, that's not fair. Why did he give the fruit only to one? He would have distributed, he would have 100 sons. So they thought, this is not fair. So while the boy was sleeping and nobody was around, they poisoned. And the child became dead. So again the lamentation started. Chitraketu says, oh my God, just the joy was lasting only hardly a day. And he remembered Narad Muni and Angira Muni. They were right. But I cannot bear the lamentation. So, my Angira Muni and Narad Muni came. What happened? My son is dead. Okay. So what? That was bound to happen. We told you, we warned you before. So no, please. I cannot understand. So, okay, who can make you understand? I am going to revive your son, Angira Muni said, and he will make you understand. So, Angira Muni revived the son, and again Chitraketu became very happy, and he was trying to take the child and say, you are my life and soul, I will dedicate everything. I will give it to you. Please do not leave me. And the child said, who are you? The child is telling, who are you? I am your daddy. Then he says, which number daddy you are? Which number daddy you are? The child says, what? Which number daddy you are? And Chitraketu got startled and he could not understand. Why are you telling me? You may be my daddy in my last birth, but this is a new birth. I have been revived again. So, I have changed so many daddies. Every life after life. I have so many. So they are all called Pitros. And the son has an obligation to liberate as many parents he has changed. So, in any rate, the false identification is very expensive. You have to pay heavy prices for that. Krishna wanted Arjuna to become only an instrument in his hand, so he will be saved. But ignorance has to be removed. Ignorance has to be removed. You can ask so many questions, but this falsification of identification is wrong. And therefore, as far as relative truths are concerned, nobody should be enamored. Nobody should become puffed up. Nobody should be, because it's only dependent upon the absolute truth. Better know absolute truth and you'll be able to know everything. Kasmin bhagavo yasmin vigyatam sarvam evam vigyatam bhavanti. The Vedas say, know only that personality. By knowing whom, everything is to be known. If you know Krishna, everything you'll be able to know. Arjuna was not knowing Krishna as the absolute truth, personality of God. So, gradually, he's asking the question because Krishna's wise counsel he appreciates. But it takes about how many hours? 1.5 hours to convince him. Bhagavad Gita is 700 sloka, and the conversation can be finished in 1.5 hours. But that much time and such a period of 1.5 hours, and everybody is waiting to start shooting the arrows because the conch shells have been blown already. Even Arjuna blew, even Krishna blew his conch. And yet, so Vishama means at a critical juncture, when confusion arises, it is extremely dangerous. What is our critical juncture?
About death. About death, when you're about to die.
About to die, critical juncture. So, Rishabdev tells, Parabhavasya abodha jato javanna jigyasam atmatattvam. Parabhav means sure defeat. A person is defeated if he leaves the body without understanding his reality. Atmatattvam. Means the life is useless. Right? Nunam pramatta kurte vikarma. Of course, he ends up doing vikarma, the karma which has not been suggested to do for sense pleasure. Jadendriya pritrani apnoti. Jad means dead. Indriya. These indriyas are not reciprocated because they are saturated with sense gratification. How can such sense gratification can allow you to sensibly understand the feelings of love of Lord? You hardly have feeling of love and temporary love with wife and children. It is not eternal. So it is easy that you will never understand the love of the Supreme Personality of Godhead because He is the Supreme Father and we are all His children and we are wayward. So try to compare, our love doesn't stand anywhere. And that love is dependent upon sense gratification. Jadendri Pritam, na sadhu manye atmanoyam. For the self, for the soul, it is never favorable. Because kleshada asadeha, this body is nothing but kleshada, giving problems after problems. We know pain. We hanker for a little happiness, but we end up by misidentification. So it's a total failure. So parabhavasya abodhajato. Abodhajato. You have not been revealed this absolute truth of your own self, that you are part and parcel of Krishna. And Krishna is absolute. So qualitative absoluteness you have, quantitative is not there. But this qualitative absolute nature we must appreciate, and we will be able to communicate with our Maker. So, javat kriya tavat manobhe. For those who are failure, parabhava means failure. Abodhajato, he is ignorant of the absolute. The javanna jigyasam atma tattvam parabhavasya abodhajato. The javat kriya tavat manobhe. Whatever he does, that's the kind of mentality he is going to develop, but which will be completely confusing. One who goes, even in the morning we say, don't become sentimental, become intellectual. Devotional service is not to be done mentally, because mind is wavering, it's not controllable. Why don't you use intelligence? That's what Krishna's argument is. Discriminate, intelligence. And the definition of intelligence is also there. What is it supposed to do? What is real, what is unreal? Always look for that. So more you are on the side of reality, more you will be enriched to go back home to God. And your problems, which are hallucinating, coming out of the mental, depreciation, not appreciation, mental depreciation, then we have to think about it. It's an opportunity to learn Bhagavad Gita and employ in our own life, because more or less everybody is in the same dilemma as Arjuna is. You may not be on the battlefield, but you may be also on your field of work. The body itself is called kshetra, means the battlefield. You have to fight against the body. And don't fight with somebody else's body, but fight with your own body. Kshetra. For any work, the field of activity, which is the body, is first cause. Second cause, the body is influenced by the three modes of material nature. Third, there are different kinds of activities which are dictated by the modes. Fourth is the surrounding. And fifth is Daivam. These are the five causes for any of your actions and resultant reactions. There. Panchetani karanani. The karma is not so simple. Karma is not so simple. Why it is so entangling? Because there are five factors involved in it. Without that, nobody can accomplish anything. This comes in the last chapter. Krishna explains in very great detail. But here, our dilemma is like Arjuna's dilemma. Try to put yourself in the shoes of Arjuna, and you will get appropriate answers. Arjuna is simply an instrument. So we should be also instruments so others can learn from our life. So, anybody has any question? Yes.
First of all, my apologies for coming late. And then you mentioned that if you know Krishna, then you know everything.
Yes.
Right? And you also mentioned that it was even so difficult for Arjuna to know Krishna, even though he spent so much time with Krishna, and even in the battlefield he came to know about the real identity of Krishna. So, what chance we of knowing even a little bit of Krishna?
Why not? Why not? Put in your feet into Arjun's shoes. Aren't we so much attached to the family? Aren't we attached to material things? Aren't we confused even? At the critical time of emergency, even Pandits are not able to discern what is right and what is wrong, even though they are learned. Because it's a battle between the life and death. Every time our life is compared to a drop of water on a lotus leaf. Kamaladala jala jivanadala. It's very unsteady. So, but security is knowing Krishna. That's what he says even, bluntly. Janma karma cha me divyam evam vettiyo tattva. Vetti means know. Tattvata means in truth, you know me. What am I doing? You know my activities. In truth. Then, tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mamiti swarya. So, knowing Krishna, how he thinks and what he wants us to do. Knowing Krishna, Krishna's consciousness, accept, not your consciousness. What is the value of your consciousness? Nothing. That is the false identification, false ego. Oh my God, he says, I cannot think on my own. You can't think. Everybody is born in darkness of ignorance. But Jnana Jana Shlakaya. Krishna is giving Jnana to Arjuna. Krishna is a spiritual master. And anybody who repeats what Krishna says is also spiritual master. When Krishna says to you, Manmana Bhava, means absorb my consciousness in your consciousness. Think what I am thinking. He is asking you to do that. And he says, I don't have time. Or you give so many alibis because of false ego. Everything will be smashed. Even Indra has false ego, it was smashed. Brahma has false ego. All the living entities have false ego. Who has true ego? Only a devotee can say, Dasanudas, Anudasatva. I am the servant of the maintainer of gopis. What a lofty, definition. I am not a Brahman. Naham Vipro Narapati. I am not the king. Napi Vaishyo na Shudro. Na grahapatim, ya vanastho yatirva. Kintu, but Nikhila Purnamrta. Nikhil means the singular entity. Padakamalayo. Gopi Bhartu Padakamalayo. One who is the maintenance of the gopis. Go means the senses or cows. Our senses have been made first to recognize our real identity, but we abuse the senses and we forgot ourselves. So, Gopi Bhartu Padakamalayo, Dasa 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 Anadana. Our senses must be engaged in the service of the master of the senses, which is Krishna. Rishikena Rishikesham Sevanam Bhakti Uchyate. So why bhakti? Keep your true ego. And the servant of the maintainer of the gopis, when you say, who? Don't be surprised. Give them surprise. Right? Because they don't understand, what can you do? But who are you? I'm Falana, I'm Rikna, I'm this and that, and I'm a doctor, and these are all false identification. Tiny. We give them the highest identification and they are completely against it. They don't want it. They don't want it. They want themselves to be Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. Brahma and Brahman. They sound like same. So, Brahma means one who is in illusion is called Brahma. But one who is realized is called Brahman too. So, two opposites. So like that. Any other question? Yeah.
Many a time people ask about how do we overcome attachment, family members and material things. How do we do that? It's like that if you know Krishna, then it could be okay, but it's very hard to do that.
That attachments are stumbling blocks. You cannot have attachments other than Krishna's or the devotees. You should be more attached to the devotees. Because they will constantly remind you that you have to attach to Krishna. Because they themselves are trying. So birds of the feather flock together. You can't play the bodily attachments to be of any importance. They are stumbling blocks.
At the same time, you have responsibility to this family member.
Yeah, purified existence is important. Means remove all the ignorance of around you, expose the reality, and live according to the real person. Engage in devotional service is the reality. It's not one of the way. It's the way. Suppose if you think you are a Gyan Margi, right? Gyan. You keep on babbling whatever comes in your mind. You be a rationalist or you may be a universalist. You heard of Sadhu Guru. Sadhu, Satguru is called Sadhu Guru. Right? The one in Karnataka. Yeah. It's simply babbling. He doesn't have vast knowledge of the Vedas even. But he's a rationalist. A religious rationalist. Okay? But he has been one of the members of Masonic Society. As if he is representing India. And Masonic Society has an agenda to claim Jesus is the only Lord. By vox populi, create circumstances and make somebody God, even though he said, I'm son of God. They won't say, no, you are God. You are Father. They killed him. And they don't want to bring out from the cross even and worship him as him. No, there are so many unfounded situations in Christianity, and they're lying so much. There are so many articles are coming just to propagate as the best religion. And Islam is no lesser than that. By hook or in crook, you know. They say Islam is the fastest growing religion in USA. And we do not belong to anybody. Right? We don't want to go into the competition, but we have to revive what we have forgotten. Otherwise, we can be easily converted, either on this side or that side, become a Christian or Islam. That's what is happening in India. So we have to not only know, but what Krishna says becomes the life and soul. So we should be properly educated. Know Krishna. Don't speculate about Krishna. He has exposed himself. He's not talking in esoteric terms. He's speaking. Nice. For example, Prabhupada would comment on this. Man manabhava mad bhaktu madhyaji man namaskuro. Dr. Radhakrishnan says, oh, you do not have to surrender to Krishna, but the one who is speaking through him. Prabhupada said he was paid by the Britishers to write this Bhagavad Gita in English. Straight. So is Gandhi, so is Bal Gangadhar Tilak, so is Vinoba Bhave. All these four impersonalism. They want to deny Krishna. Then what is the value of devotional service? Which is the highest realization of the absolute truth? Through devotional service. They don't think it is valuable. Never mind. Make your life perfect by all reasonability. Remove the doubts. Don't remain in confusion. And chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yeah. Your duty.
Mahaprasade Govinda.